Thank you. Yes, sir. Welcome.
My name is Bob Schauer. I own Western Pacific Truck Schools. We have facilities in Modesto, Stockton, and Sacramento. And to say that I'm against this bill would be absolutely wrong. I'm not. I'm for it 100%. And I applaud Senator Monning for bringing it forward the way he did. I think that what Mr. Lefebvre said is absolutely correct. What we would like to see, if at all possible, is to get it quicker than 2017. To get the CDL mills out of the picture and to get the proper amount of training for the students it should be at the top of the list. To do that, Senator Monning also mentioned the state of Washington went through this. I was one of the only private schools that was asked by the state of Washington to come in and help them set their standards and the way they did it. And we had it start to finish in less than 2 years. Out and operational, and this is the crux. We need to get the CDL mills out, and we need to get DMV on board so that we can get the good students that are being trained properly out in a timely manner. And that is what we would like to see added to this bill.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
My name's Roger Smith with American Truck School out of Redding, California. We support this bill as well. We do have our concerns about the wait times. Over 50% of the drive tests in our area are from the CDL mills. So if you take a look at that, the biggest thing I'd like to say is, you know, when you were 16 and you were taking that driver's test, were you pretty nervous? You were, right? The test is an hour and a half long. If you take it in a big rig or a little rig, it doesn't matter. But the wait time and your nerves become a factor. So you come to school for a month, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever length of the program is, and you fail, and you have to wait another 30 to 45 days to test again, because the tests are pretty much eat up by CDL mills and stuff like that. It's just wrong. So, like, once again, I do support the bill, but if you could look at the DMV thing, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay. Other witnesses opposed? Senator Monning, you have any other closing remarks? Other questions from the committee?
I was just.
Senator Allen has a question.
Yes, Senator Monning. Could you respond a little bit to some of these concerns about the CDL mills and the extent to which you can incorporate some of these issues into the
this bill is the very crux of this bill is to get rid of the CDL mills. That's why we have support from Trucking Association. A lot of the big trucking companies have their own internal training programs. And once
so I guess I'm not fully understanding the concerns.
There are legitimate concerns voiced, and you know, we're in good dialogue, and I think moving forward, the concern about wait time for DMV testing, that exists now. Our bill is not designed to put more resources into DMV to reduce wait times. Maybe that will be a collateral part of this conversation. There's appropriations issues that we do not seek to address in this policy. But I will say we're engaged, I think, in productive conversations. The basis of unity of everyone at this table is that there are drivers on the road who are either going through a training program that is designed to take their money and give them a diploma after watching a video. Those exist in California. Or people with no training. The minimum requirement is to pass the written test and the driving test as described. If this bill becomes law, the Department of Motor Vehicles will establish criteria for a school to issue a training certificate to a driver. It will have to meet the standards set by the Department of Motor Vehicles with consultation from experts, some of whom are at the table today. So what we're going to do is we're going to raise the level of every truck driver on the road in the state of California, that a diploma from a training school is going to be guaranteed to meet minimal standards. The driver involved in the Santa Cruz tragedy had minimal training, minimal experience.
These CDL mills, his training?
I don't even know if he had the CDL mill. He was hired by a very small trucking operation that basically put him on the road with very heavy big
We
rig.
can get the police report if you want.
But he did have a commercial driver's license.
Yes. He was not trained to operate the vehicle he was driving or the road conditions that he faced.
No. Other questions? Okay. Members, on the other side of the hill is my district. Actually, this accident occurred in my district. And when the accident occurred, I started working on this issue, and I found out Senator Monning was doing the bill. So I told Bill that let's pass the torch. My sister lives in Scotts Valley, drives this route every day for the last 25 years, and missed the accident by about 10 minutes. Okay, so.
Yeah, Mr. Bell, if I could, Senator Bell, if I could just do a short close and respect the time you've afforded to our witnesses and to me in this presentation. And just very briefly, we all have tragedies in our district, and not every tragedy results or should result in legislation. And quite honestly, I approach this with great sorrow for the family, but not necessarily thinking there's legislation. As we did our research and found that the state of Washington has addressed this problem and that we have a huge gap in California. You don't know whether you're driving a passenger vehicle or if you're a licensed commercial vehicle driver, you don't know what the training standard is for that truck coming at you, maybe on a two-way road. Highway 17 is treacherous. It has a lot of accidents. Our belief is that by raising the training standards, we will prevent these types of accidents from happening, not just on Highway 17, but on every highway in the state of California. This will inure to the safety of all of your constituents in the state of California. And I just want to thank the family for its courage in being here today, and those that have worked with us in a really compassionate and supportive, constructive manner. We look forward to moving this forward. I would urge your aye vote.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator. Just to finish what I was saying. Okay.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I think for me, it's very personal because of what happened. And my mother calls my sister every day to see if she's home safe. Okay, and we live in the Cambrian Park area of San Jose near Campbell, where Daniel worked. And and Madam Mayor, I actually worked for the city of Santa Cruz, so I drove in my younger days over the hill the other way between San Jose. So I'm quite familiar with this particular stretch of the highway. Investigating it as Bill Monning has, Senator Monning, it's abysmal that we haven't dealt with this before, and we apologize. This is something we should have dealt with a long time ago. Okay, this is something that needs to be dealt with. We have thousands of people on our roads with people driving, huge vehicles without proper training, and this needs to be dealt with. And this should be, this is public safety. This is something that should have been done before you had this tragic loss. And I'm terribly sorry for your family and the loss. And so let's continue to work for this. This is so important. We need to make a steadfast effort to see that the standards are improved, and I applaud Senator Monning for introducing the bill. So I urge and I vote on this bill and would love to be added as co-author.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Senator McGuire.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. And with great thanks to you and to Senator Monty, would be happy to move the bill, sir.
Thank you. Any further questions? Could we call the roll, please?
The motion is due pass and refer to the Committee on Appropriations. Senators Bell?
Aye.
Bell, I. Cannella? Aye. Cannella, I. Allen? Aye. Allen, I. Bates? Gaines? Gaines, I. Galgiani? Leyva? Aye. Leyva, I. McGuire? Aye. McGuire, I. Mendoza? Roth? Aye. Roth, I. Wachowski?
Aye.
Wachowski, aye.
Senator Monning, we have 8 votes in favor, enough to pass, but we will leave it open for, the roll open for other members to cast their
Thank you,
vote.
Mr. Chair. Thank you, members. And again, thank you for your criticism.
Thank you. Senator Wolk, you're here, and welcome to our committee, and you have item 2, which we can proceed with Senator Wolk's item.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members.
Senator?
SB 7 would authorize the Department of Housing and Community Development to develop and propose standards that require the installation of water meters, water sub-meters in newly constructed apartment buildings, new construction only. These standards would be adopted by the California Building Standards Commission during the next regular cycle, the regularly scheduled code adoption cycle. Unlike water meters for individual homes, there is no requirement in state law that individual dwelling units in apartment buildings have individual meters or sub-meters. When installed in red, sub-metering would encourage water users to be more aware of their usage, giving them a financial incentive to conserve. In the last session, I did author 2 other bills. Everybody's smiling. We had such a good time.
Yes, it was well.
Oh, yes. We're trying to and we're trying once again, that's not what's in front of you. We're trying once again to see if we can get to consensus on a larger program on many of the details, but that's not what's in front of you. If there is a consensus reached, we will come back to you. That's perfectly fine. But this, what is right in front of you, we think it's important that new building standards be adopted for new construction to allow for installation of sub-meters. Given the drought, we need to get serious about this, and most people live in apartments, so it's really an important source of water conservation that is not now being tapped. And many new apartments are, in fact, sub-metered, but not all, and in California, it really should be a requirement, again, in new construction. I ask for your aye vote. Oh, and I have with me Susan Rayner from the U.S. Green Building Council, California, to testify on behalf of the bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Witness and support, please. Thank you.
Yes, I'm a licensed architect here in California, and I'm here on behalf of USGBC California, representing 8 chapters and thousands of forward-thinking businesses and professional members across the state. We are in strong support of this sensible and sustainable approach to managing California's multi-family housing water usage. With almost 50% of California residents living in multi-unit housing, there is a huge potential for water savings. If we have learned anything from this current year of extreme drought, it is that we must examine every aspect of our water usage and ensure responsible use at every turn. SB 7 will help lead California in that direction. USGBC California supports the deliberate process of the Building Standards Commission to ensure thoughtful and equitable standards. We'd like to thank the author for working with us on this important piece of legislation, and we urge your aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members. I'm Bob Raymer, Technical Director with the California Building Industry Association. Our official position is support with amendments, but we've been working with staff and others. The draft language has been put together, addresses our water purveyor concern, and did quite long ago. We're also working with state agencies to make sure any tweaks they need for the building code adoption process are included. We're highly confident that's going to happen as well. So we're in very strong support of seeing this bill move forward today. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chairman and members. Brian Augusta on behalf of Western Center on Law and Poverty. We have been working with the Senator for a number of years, as she made reference to in her comments, about ensuring that if there is a mandate to install sub-meters in rental housing, that our clients who are renters are protected from a variety of issues, things that will come up undoubtedly. What happens if there's a leak and the meter runs? What happens if there's a dispute about the water meter charges? So we have worked through those issues for a number of years, and we're hoping that if a deal comes together, that those will be part of what emerges. In the absence of that, the bill that's before you is about the building standards, and we would just note that if that policy is the one that goes forward, we will need to ensure that as sub-meters are required in new construction, that we have a policy in place that will ensure that the tenant protections that I was just describing are coupled with that. So we'll be working with the senator, depending on which direction it goes, to ensure that those are in place. Thank you.
Keith Dunn here for the California Apartment Association. We've been working with the Center for all 5 of the years as well. I'd like to just commit that we're continued to work with Western Center on those disclosures. We think that that's important. I think that we're pretty darn close to that. If this bill does change, we just want you to know we will be working with Western Center to make sure that those are included. We also think it's important to continually make tenants aware of the cost of water, that they have adequate access to know what those costs of water is, especially now when they're a drought. It's the best way to conserve, to know what you're spending and how it's being spent. So making sure that everyone has the ability to know what that water is costing remains critical.
Okay, Mr. Chairman and members, John Schmock with the Apartment Association of Orange County. We too, like the other members of the panel here, have worked very closely with the author on a more expansive bill, which we've not come together yet, but we are in support of this bill as it is drafted.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair and members, Steve Carlson here for the Apartment Association of Greater Los Angeles, the Santa Barbara Rental Property Association, and the Utility Management and Conservation Association, which is a group of water submetering companies, the guys who install them, bill for them, and do the work on it. We too have been involved in this issue for quite a few years. And given our current circumstance, not only the drought, but the need to conserve water, the potential penalties on landlords if certain water metrics aren't met, which is obviously a concern to the landlords when they can't necessarily control the activities of their tenants. So we very much would like to continue to work together and hope this is the year that we can kind of pull something together.
Yes, sir. Any other witnesses, please? Come forward. Witnesses in favor of this bill, please come forward.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. Mark Fenstermaker on behalf of the Sonoma County Water Agency. We're a wholesale provider of water to cities and water districts of 600,000 people in Sonoma County. One of the things we're often preaching is knowing how much water you're using. Education is vital to being able to conserve our precious water resources. So we're very much in support of this bill. I've been supportive of the Senator's previous efforts. Thank her for her leadership on this issue and respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Okay, thank you. Other witnesses?
Kyle Jones with Sierra Club, California. As someone who preaches conservation almost daily, it is a shame that I don't have metering myself and have no idea how much water I'm using a month. I'm a strong supporter of this measure, as conservation is the most cost-effective way for California to save water. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, other witnesses in favor? If not, can we have the witnesses opposing this bill come forward, or otherwise not in favor of it? Seeing none, Senator Woke. Questions to Senator Woke? Senator McGuire.
I just want to make a quick comment and just say thank you to the Senator. I know this has been at times a prickly issue coming forward, and appreciate also the partnership with the Apartment Association as well. And having San Diego work through their wrinkles as well, I think has really helped. So really appreciate the work that you put into this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, other questions? Seeing none, Senator Woke, you have the floor for a close.
I just asked for your aye vote, Mr. Chair and members.
Okay. There's a motion for the bill to do pass. Can we call a roll?
The motion is due pass and refer to the Committee on Appropriations. Senators Bell?
Aye.
Bell, I. Cannella?
Aye.
Cannella, I. Allen?
Aye.
Allen, I. Bates? Gaines? Gaines, I. Galgiani? Leyva? Leyva, I. McGuire? McGuire, I. Mendoza? Roth? Roth, I. Wachowski?
Aye.
Wachowski, I.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members.
Senator, that's on call. We have 8 votes in favor. Okay, Senator Hall, you're here? Senator Hall is here.